from the vault, high atop the pastoral center of the Diocese of Camden, you're listening to Talking Catholic.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Catholic. I am back. It's Kari Janisse. I am here, and I'm with my good friend Mike Walsh on location today.
I'll be completely honest with you. I cannot, for the life of me, remember the last time you and I had a conversation.
I was thinking about it on the way. It was in the summer. It's now the fall. And this is what I was thinking on the way here. It's like, that the semester has started and my work is well underway, and that we also have a coadjutor bishop on the books now, officially welcomed into the Diocese of Camden, because we both have been crazy busy.
We have been.
And have not seen each other.
We have not.
But we're both working hard for the church, and that's all that matters.
That is absolutely well said. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I had somebody come up to me today and say, wow, what's it like working for two bishops? And I said, well, the only thing busier than one bishop is two bishops, because it's sort of been out on the road and doing a lot of stuff, but it's all been beautiful and for all the right reasons. And it's been a very joyous time in the diocese. It was joyous for Bishop Sullivan celebrating his 20th anniversary. It's also been joyous for Bishop Williams, sort of becoming indoctrinated into South Jersey culture, which he has remarked upon several times about how welcoming we've been, how good the food is, how our dedication to sports. The time has just ended. Well, at least for the Phillies. We're recording this the morning after the Phillies lost, so that's a rough one for us. Yep. But no, it's been,
I'm so glad to hear that, because I follow all the social medias and friends with many priests and many people who work up in the diocesan offices, and I'm kind of outstretched from that over here on location at the Newman House, or on site at the Newman House, and I'll see your wife and your son often at St. Bridget's Church, where I attend Mass on the weekends with the students, and then I'm like, oh, where's Mike? And then later that day I'll see a posting from whatever church you were at, and your photographs, and that's where Mike was.
It's funny. I don't remember September and October being this busy previous years. So I do think there's a little bit of, we got a little more, another person in the fold. And so there's a lot more to cover because of that. Sure. But like I said, for all the best reasons. And we're kind of excited because Bishop Williams has been doing these deanery meetings every Wednesday through the end of September to the end of October. And the next one up is ours.
It is ours, and I won't even be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, Wednesday night is the only night that is our main student ministry meeting. It's like everyone's there. So like during the week is all the sub-ministries, the Bible studies, the women's group, the men's group, et cetera, et cetera. But Wednesday night is the Newman night. And with Father Rossi, of course, being required to be there as our pastor, I'm next in line to lead the group. Sure. And you can't have both, leaders gone.
So that's a rough one.
I have to sit that one out, and it's also my home parish, Our Lady Peace as well falls in that deanery, so I'm like over 2 on attending, but there'll be other opportunities. We've invited him to several of our events coming up at the Newman House, so we're hoping maybe one of them gets picked up on the schedule. So it should be nice.
He has been very open to Bishop Williams. That has been very open to Sullivan too, but Bishop Williams specifically has been very open to coming to a lot of events he's been invited to. His schedule is filling up fast.
I'm sure.
So I won't speak for him and tell him he'll actually be when he's coming. Yeah. But I 100% am certain that he will be there in short order, and your students will fall in love with him.
I know they will. They already have. We had, I think, 7 or 8 at the Mass of Welcome, and they were so excited about that. There were some of our what we call our e-board, our executive board of leaders, and they enjoyed that Mass. They enjoyed meeting him afterwards and having a brief conversation before he left for the reception, and everything is just. It's a very exciting time. It really is. It's working for the Diocese of Camden. So I'm enjoying it. I won't be there for the deanery meeting, but I will, I'm sure, have many other encounters coming up very quickly.
Well, that's okay. That means he'll have more time to hang out with my parents, because my parents are going to be there. So I'm very excited about that too. And anybody who's coming to Deanery 3, if you want to meet my parents, you can meet them too. You should meet Bishop Williams and the person that created me.
I think I want to come more to meet your parents than I do to talk to Bishop Williams.
They oftentimes have to go, so what's the how did he become like this? Because you people are so nice.
I know.
But you have, to take this back to you, I've also been following your social media, and you all have been busy bees these last 6 weeks.
As I say, I'm a junior now in college, my third year back at Rowan as alumna. And this has been the busiest, but the most, I mean, they've all been great. Don't get me wrong. They've all been wonderful. But there's something to say about ministry. When you get into year 3, 4, it's like you're comfortable. You know your people. You know your flock. You know how to guide them best. You know their strengths, their weaknesses, how to work with them. And we're at that sweet spot right now. Nice. And we're just growing. And the college is growing as well. They have had the largest number of incoming freshmen to Rowan University this year. They opened dorms that were closed. They quickly renovated them to make accommodations for them. Yeah.
Excellent.
And 2 of those dorms are strategically located right across the street from where we are on Redmond Ave there. So it's been all helpful and very good for our ministries. And we've had some very successful meetings and events already. And it's only, we're not even midway through the semester. So it's just been great. I've been enjoying the work I'm in. I always have. I've loved all my jobs, in different forms of ministry. But this year in particular has been something special. Well,
you just did one of my favorite events that you'll often do is there's a public area of Rowan's campus in the Student Union, the Chamberlain Center, and you will occasionally have public events there. And last night you had a public Ask a Priest with 2 of our local priests and one you shipped in.
Yeah, over from Philadelphia Archdiocese, Father Michael Spezial, who was amazing, and a former classmate of Father Rossi's, and many of our diocesan priests because of St. Charles Seminary where they went. And he was wonderful. He was great. They were all great, but he brought a special lightness of humor and realness of Philly. He was a Philly guy.
Nice.
And you could tell. And he brought the realness of that. And the students that were just even walking through related so much to his delivery, his realness, his rawness, his honesty. It was great. I said, we got to have this guy back. He was really something.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it was a very successful event, and definitely something we'll be doing again, if not once a semester, definitely once a year for sure.
Oh, good.
It was the forum and the way it was just laid out was just very conducive to that student center pit.
Ah, that's wonderful. That's great. Yeah. Well, I'm very happy to hear that. I always enjoy seeing all the great stuff that's going on at Rowan Catholic Campus Ministry, so that's wonderful. And, for anyone who wants to see more of this kind of stuff that's going on, either Diocese of Camden or Rowan Catholic Campus Ministry, you can always find us on social media, Diocese of Camden, Catholic Star Herald, Talking Catholic, Catholic, hold on, I got more. Catholic Charities of South Jersey, Catholic, South Jersey Catholic Schools. We got all sorts of platforms for us. And then you've got Rowan Catholic.
Rowan Catholic on Instagram, St. Bridget University Parish on Facebook, and stbridgetup.org on our website.
Yeah.
Lots of good things.
Now, our listeners might have noticed that it sounds a little different in here. Yeah, once again, Kari and I are on the road, and you know how much we love being on the road. And when you can hear that sort of hustle and bustle in the background, there's an outside chance Kari has roped me into showing up at a place that offers fine food products.
That's right.
And you have once again nailed it. And although actually, I think we might have, did we mention on a previous podcast that we were going to come here?
I think twice actually, because as we mentioned, we've been busy and schedules, and we've had to reschedule a couple times. So this was slated for the summer, but that's not when God wanted it. He wanted this beautiful fall day that we're experiencing. And so, yes, we are on location at Dolce Vita Gelato in Washington Township. And we are here with Kim Corso, the owner. Did I get that right, Corso?
You did.
All right.
Hi, Kim.
Who you can tell is Italian, which I love.
Yes, 100%.
All right. I'm only 50, so you got me beat, girl.
And you can tell it's 100% Italian because when you walk into here, you get the feel that you are not in the United States any longer.
No.
So, Kim, when did you open this? You and your husband. When did you open up this place?
So my husband and I opened this up. We're actually in our second season right now. So this really started out for a love of our travel to Italy. So we've been very fortunate to have gone to Italy several different times. Love, obviously, the culture, the food, just everything.
Sure.
And then we would come back here and just felt like something was missing. So we felt like as a couple, as a family, there was really nowhere to go. to go ahead and to experience truly artisan gelato, and then also create an environment that you could actually take a minute, spend time with your family and your loved ones, and have a place where you can actually make memories together.
Yeah.
Celebrate a special occasion. Just maybe come in and, read a book, have a little gelato. So it was really wonderful that we created this, and it's been so warmly received by the community and everybody that here we sit in our second season and just still so excited about the opportunity.
Wow. I love hearing that, because having been to Italy myself 4 times, and I always say when you go, you have to have gelato twice a day. That's my rule. Yes.
Wait a second. I've been to Italy since you've known me, and you did not tell me that.
I mean, I thought you would know that already.
Well, I got news for you.
Come on.
I did hit gelato once a day while I was in Italy.
I always do it twice a day.
Okay, now I've learned.
And I love gelato and the feel of Italy. And my husband and I, we live less than 10 minutes down the road from here. When we heard about it opening in your first season, so we got to go there. And we walked in and we were like, oh my gosh, we feel like we're in Italy. Like you nailed it from the decor, everything from floor to ceiling. It is perfect.
I really appreciate that. So a little bit of background for my husband. He unfortunately could not make the podcast because he is actually still making gelato for business today.
As he should be, yeah.
So, but he actually studied in Bologna.
Oh, wow.
There's a gelato university there. He studied there, and he became a gelato chef. So he's considered a maestro, a master of gelato.
How about that? How long was that course?
So he was studied there for 3 weeks, and then he came back here and he took several classes online. Ultimately, he's been studying now for 2 years.
How about that?
As you keep making the gelato, you're constantly perfecting the craft. You want to introduce new flavors, make sure it's creamy, it's smooth, and that folks enjoy it, so that's something for us that just makes us, I think, unique and different. So it really has been a pleasure to be able to do that. And then we really wanted to focus on the inside and the outside. So as you can see here, the inside actually has a center mural for a town called San Gimignano. That's considered the heart of Tuscany. So fun fact, that's where the #1 gelateria in all of Italy is located, at the top of the square.
Wow.
He was actually a guest speaker at the university that my husband was at. In addition to that, we recently in January attended a gelato convention in Italy. Somebody had to do it. So we decided it would be a great idea.
Yeah.
And he was actually a guest judge there as well.
Oh, wow.
So he's made some waves just in the short time of him being a master gelato maker.
He has. He's done a couple competitions. Same thing, we're a family-owned business here, so it's more or less trying to get people to understand what's gelato. Folks are so used to traditional ice cream, which is fine, but there's something just a little bit different about gelato compared to, traditional ice cream.
Can you explain a little bit of what those differences are?
Sure, happily. So gelato is actually less fattening, less sugar. We don't add the preservatives and whatnot that they tend to add into ice cream. It's held at a warmer temperature, so you don't get that brain freeze component. It has less air, and we actually use more milk versus cream, like they use in ice cream. So to your point, Kari, when you say that you can have gelato twice a day and still feel good.
Now I feel great about it.
That's part of the reason why.
Yeah.
When we're in Italy, we usually have gelato at least twice a day, sometimes 3 times.
I don't blame you.
But it's all a taste.
That makes a lot of sense. And, as well, there's a lot of cultural differences, of course, wherever you go, and between Europe and the States. One of the main things that I've always taken away was the freshness of the food and the portion size. We as Americans, we overeat and we have so much and it's so heavy and there's preservatives and all these things, and you feel it in your body. And it's almost like a detox when you come home from Europe, or actually when you go there, it's like a detox. When you come back, you're like, oh, I feel this again now. Yeah. And so part of it is the portion size that you're having less, and it's healthier, as you mentioned. So more reason to come here because it's a healthier snack to enjoy.
Exactly. And then once again, trying to stay true to what we were, wanting to provide to our guests. We even went a step further. So besides Nick studying in Italy, all of our equipment, all of our ingredients are actually also all imported from Italy, down to our cups, and now most recently even our cones.
Wow, all
so
those are good.
When we attended the gelato convention in January, we actually found a cone distributor that we could have shipped to America. Never expected to have to reach out to the FDA when we were coming up with our business plan to get approval, but we did. And so far, our guests have really enjoyed the cones.
Yeah,
they just have
something
a different
different
taste and flavor to them versus the traditional cones here. So it's something that's been really great. So our case holds 18 flavors.
Oh, wow.
The Italian description's always on the top, and then the English description's always on the bottom. We are constantly rolling out brand new flavors, sometimes weekly. Sometimes he can add in a new flavor over the weekend, depending on his inspiration for that weekend. A new one that he's just added this week that people have really enjoyed, it's called Zabagnone. It is an Italian eggnog with a little bit of Marsala wine, and then he's topped it with a dark chocolate ribbon.
Oh, wow.
We'll be trying that one a little bit later on in the
sounds good.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But he really has some amazing flavors, and we're always trying to listen to our guests as well.
Yeah.
See, whether you've traveled, you remember a favorite flavor as a child, how can we try to incorporate that into our menu? So we do frequently change the menu, but we hold on to core flavors.
Yeah. And that's a good business model, is to listen to your customers and meet their needs, as well as meeting the general needs of someone that never had gelato before and might just want to try the chocolate or the vanilla, whatever it might be.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of, one of the things I've enjoyed, the Italian culture, as opposed to German culture, the Italian culture is not necessarily known for an overabundance of sweets. There are certainly things that they're famous for, but a lot of them are Americanized things. But gelato is a truly Italian delicacy. And it is funny that you wouldn't think that it's less sugar and less fat, because it's very rich, but it's also not sickly sweet. Like every gelato I've ever had, it's like there's a lightness to it that's really enjoyable and really does define it against ice cream or soft serve or anything. Not that I have anything against those things, as Kari earlier pointed out, as a person of my size, all ice creams matter to me. But gelato is a completely unique taste, and when it's prepared the way you guys have prepared it, you really do get that sense of, this is authentic.
Yes.
Because it's, there aren't many places to get gelato, and particularly, I would say that there are not that many places to get as compared to ice creams, unless you go to one of the casinos in Atlantic City. They always seem to have a stand, but I'm not entirely certain I would call those authentic.
No. I don't believe that would categorize as authentic.
Yeah. I have a question about the authenticity in it. Do you know of any other stores in the tri-state area that do what you do? Are you the store that you know of?
We are not familiar with anyone that's doing it to this degree.
Sure.
That's truly bringing in all the ingredients, all the products. The only two ingredients that unfortunately I can't get shipped over, or I would be my milk, and there's a handful of recipes that require a little egg yolk.
Okay.
But even with that, we've still gone to the highest quality that's available on the East Coast. And we actually get our milk shipped in from Lancaster.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, the quality of the ingredients is truly important to us. And we strive every day to put out a quality product to our guests.
Yeah. You could see that. You could see it, and you could taste the difference for sure.
Yeah.
And it certainly seems like your decision to really make that authenticity has really paid off. I've certainly seen you guys have been in the news a couple of times for just how great this place is and how unique it is. And I've yet to drive by during working hours where there wasn't a bit of a line outside. And you've done a great job of having sort of that cafe effect outside with some tables outside for people to sit at. So that's been really nice too. So it does seem like the community has embraced you.
The community definitely has embraced us. From our first season to our second season, it grew at such a rapid pace that I don't think my husband and I ever anticipated it. So it was such a blessing to have that as a problem
right.
that you had to address.
Yeah.
So within the second season, we actually doubled our space outside. We added these beautiful trellises that actually have silk flowers as well as real flowers on the bottom. We changed them out throughout the seasons. And same thing, whether you sit inside or you sit outside, we want people just to feel like you're in our home, like you are, you know, welcomed and embraced, and hopefully just enjoying spending time with your family and loved ones.
I'm waiting to see the parking lot turn into a piazza. I'm waiting for that.
People at this point are probably wondering. You mentioned a couple times, you know, your first season, your second season. When are you open in terms of seasonally, and then what are your hours in terms of days?
Oh no, great question. So we are open Wednesday through Sunday from 1 to 9:30. And our season is actually going to be much longer than it was our first year.
Oh, good.
And same thing, due to the demand and folks, we decided that we are going to be here until Sunday, December 22nd. So the Sunday before Christmas.
Okay.
We're going to close for about 2.5 weeks. And then we plan on reopening January 16th.
Wow. Going to go full year.
We're going to go pretty much the full year this year. So same thing. We have a lot of fun things coming up. So he has a beautiful fall menu. He's going to continue every single week to roll out these amazing fall flavors. And then thinking ahead for Christmas, he has an amazing Christmas menu. You know, besides inside seating, we also do catering. So we explained last season during that, you know, if you're thinking about Thanksgiving, you're thinking about Christmas, take a different item for a hostess gift.
Forget the
so
pie.
Maybe
Bring
instead
the
of taking
gelato.
a pie or taking someone a bouquet of flowers, bring a container of gelato of their favorite flight of flavors. You know, add that to your grandmom's favorite pie or, you know, your aunt's favorite cake. And it was a really big hit. And now you have a conversation starter, right, at your family event. You're gathering with your loved ones. And it really, really went well.
That was very smart marketing right there on your behalf, I must say.
And to anyone invited to my Christmas Eve party this year, you can come here for whatever house gifts you want to bring. We're totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I unlike other people say, oh, don't bring anything. Oh, no, by all means, bring whatever you'd like. Particularly if it's from here.
And I think it's funny. You're located in Washington Township, across from Dove Fields Farm Market, very iconic for Washington Township. But you're next door to a dentist office, which is kind of interesting.
We are. So we are next door to Sewell Dentist, Dr. Haddad, his dentist office. Lovely, lovely man.
Yes.
So it really was like a perfect marriage, so to speak, for us. So we share the building with him, the parking lot. And fortunately for us, as Mike mentioned, we do tend to get a little bit busy at nighttime. We only actually are open at the same time for about 3 hours on Thursday.
Oh, that works out well.
And otherwise, we have the parking lot all to ourselves, which our guests really appreciate. Yeah. So we really felt it was nice to be somewhat off the beaten path, have the whole lot to ourselves. It also allows us to be able to do fun things. Yeah. So Thursday, October 24th, we're actually going to host our first Trunk and Treat here.
Oh, nice. Oh, I got to put that on my calendar. Yeah.
So we're pretty excited about it, trying to work out some more details.
Are you handing out gelato or a candy?
We're actually, the kids will we're going to do prizes for the most decorated trunk.
Okay.
We're going to do prizes for the best costume, several prizes. All the kids that come will all get a little gift bag from us, which will include DVG box, candy, of course, some little Halloween treats for them. And we're really excited about being able to do that. So we do try to do different events because we think it's so important to try to give back to the community. And, you know, we're here not just to be a business, but to be a part of the community. Yes. And that's really important to my husband and I, that we constantly try to do those things.
Now, did you guys grow up in South Jersey, in this town?
No. So my husband and I are actually both originally from Philadelphia.
Okay.
As you can tell from the very heavy accent that I have. So we both grew up in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I moved to New Jersey for high school. Then I actually moved back to Philadelphia for college. I went to Drexel University and my degree's in finance.
Okay.
And then I moved back to New Jersey, met my husband. We actually just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary
Congratulations.
in September.
Beautiful.
So feel very blessed about that. And same thing. My husband grew up in Philadelphia. His family moved out here to New Jersey. My in-laws actually had a business right across from St. Mary's years ago.
Wow, yeah.
My father-in-law, God rest his soul, owned Elegant Window Treatments across from the church.
Sure.
And my husband moved out with them. And I've met him 28 years ago.
Wow.
And we've been together ever since.
And you have 2 children?
We do. We have 2 children. Our son is Dante. He's 23. He just graduated from Rowan in cybersecurity. He's a network engineer.
Good for him.
And then lucky for us, he also helps us here. So, Mike, I know you mentioned that sometimes we tend to get pretty busy, which we're grateful for. But we always tell people, don't be afraid of the lines. So our son actually designed and created a mobile app. So you can bypass the lines if you'd like. And you can actually order at no extra charge on the mobile app and get your gelato and coffee to go.
Nice.
And you can see at the tables that we're sitting at, they actually don't have table numbers like a traditional restaurant. Instead, they're actually named after northern towns in Italy. So the table we're sitting at right now is called San Gimignano. So when you order, you just say which table you're at, and then we can bring your gelato and your
love
coffee
that.
to you.
That's great.
That is great.
And then our daughter, Alyssa, is going to be 21 the end of this month. It goes by fast. I know your kids are still little.
Yeah.
It goes by in a blink of an eye. And she is actually studying to be my husband's apprentice.
I love that.
That's wonderful.
So she's learning how to make the gelato. She's learning how to design everything and create it. She's making all these beautiful gelato pops, which are just amazing. She's she's my very creative child. So it's really nice to see her be able to take it and show that creativity in her work every day and have that sense of pride. So it's really lovely that our guests will come in and stop her and be like, oh my gosh, I really enjoyed that vanilla gelato pop with a strawberry swirl. And so it's really nice to see her be able to take it and grow with it.
And great that, it's so often that, as kids get older, they spend less time with their parents, and you've devised a great way to keep everyone together. That's beautiful.
The Italian mother in me
does not.
The Italian Catholic mother in me does not want to
right.
let go.
Sounds about right.
I'm like, is everyone still coming home for dinner?
Yes.
It's that old school belief of,
so
listen,
important.
time is precious. We definitely know that firsthand ourselves. So having those opportunities are just, they're so meaningful to both of us. So it's really fun to be able to have your kids here. We tease them because there are times, I know we have the music off, but we have Italian music that usually plays in the background. And there is sometimes singing, very bad singing and dancing going on that, this is that work environment that we may be dancing and singing. So not your traditional work environment.
Yeah, it's okay. And it's with your parents, which makes it even more fun. Now let's talk about your faith a little bit. You grew up in Philly. What I know Philly, South Philly areas, they just go by parish.
They go by parish.
Yeah,
so I actually grew up in Southwest Philly.
Okay.
So I was from 68th and Dix, and I went to St. Clements.
Okay.
So St. Clements was a really great parish. The church in itself was beautiful. I don't know if you've ever been to that church.
Never been to that particular church.
So the whole church was actually built in the shape of a cross.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely beautiful. But really funny because, as you mentioned, everything is in neighborhoods. So I lived at 68th and Dix. All of my friends lived right across the street, and most of those folks actually went to Our Lady of Loretta. Fun fact, back then, in order to go to Our Lady of Loretta, not only did you need to be in a particular block, but you also had to have Italian heritage.
Oh.
The good old days.
Very old school.
Yeah, that is old school.
And then right before we graduated, as some, churches, and we see it nowadays as well, right? closed down. St. Irenaeus was another parish in Southwest Philly, and they unfortunately closed. And my last year of grade school, they actually merged with us. So then we became St. Clemens, St. Irenaeus. But I'm very excited to say, even to this day, I still keep in touch with several folks that I actually grew up with and went to elementary school with. Several people have come into the shop, which has just been a blast, you know, to be able to see people and really has been fantastic. My husband is from South Philadelphia, so he actually went to St. Monica's.
I've been there.
That's
the more famous
we
one.
all have. I mean, it's gorgeous, beautiful church. And then he attended Bishop Newman.
Oh, yes.
As
now Grady Newman, right?
Exactly. As most
South Philly
guys,
Italians
do, right? He went to St. Newman.
Yeah.
And then when Nick and I got married, we had our home, decided we wanted to start our family and move. When we got married, we moved to Williamstown. And we got married at the time, St. Mary's Church.
Now Our Lady of Peace.
Now Our Lady of Peace, right. And Father Carmen married us.
God rest his soul.
He was just absolutely amazing. And, you know, so grateful for the Catholic faith and having to go through all the different classes before you actually go ahead and you say your vows in front of God. I remember sitting in the classes with several other, you know, engaged couples that we did not know and realized how much we were fortunate that we spoke together, discussed our future, to who's going to pay the bills, how will money get divided, how many children do you want, how is the faith going to be incorporated into their future lives.
Sure.
And I think that those conversations and our faith have helped us to still be where we're at today, 25 years married.
Beautiful.
And, you know, working together. So
there's no escape.
No, that's so unusual.
That's huge.
It's a huge hint that I'm constantly going, 25 years later, but we still like each other, right? You love each other, but we still like each other. And I think that's a big difference. Yeah. And I'm very grateful for that.
Volumes.
You know, and honestly, it speaks volumes to, I don't know what we call it anymore, but the pre-Cana that what existed when I was getting married. You know, that kind of stuff, you know, it's I think in modern society, oftentimes people think that is an antiquated aspect of preparing for marriage. But the truth of the matter is the people that I know that have long, successful marriages, they really do look back at that time as an opportunity to ask those questions you wouldn't. Everybody nowadays wants to know, well, what treatments can I get for my wedding? What's the dress going to look like? What weird things from TikTok am I going to make my husband do prior hand? What first looks are we doing? But they didn't go through that step to actually say, are we really compatible together? And do we really understand that this is not a 1-year thing? This is a 25-year thing, a 50-year thing. This is, you know, for the rest of our lives. The fact that you went through that and you saw the successes of that, I would hope that young people considering discerning marriage would actually avail themselves of. I have to imagine that in your times with college students, they're oftentimes sort of in that mind. A number of your students I've seen get married over the last couple of years successfully. Is that the kind of thing that you've encouraged as well?
I mean, I could speak to as well. Even I'll be married 18 years this April, and I can remember my focus inventory and all of that. And I also will reference it a lot with the students. And I will say to the students' credits that are involved in Catholic campus ministry at the Newman House, the faith is important to them. And that compatibility in the faith is important to them and being on the same page. So they do take it seriously. But they're seeing all around them, their peers and everyone else, not taking it to that degree. And I'm very grateful because I've been to now, I'm in my 3rd year of working there, and I've been to 4 weddings, I think, of former graduate students, or 4th one coming up this December. And to see them take it seriously and be married in the church. That's what they're seeing. So many young people not be married in the church, their friends marrying them and everything else. But to be married in the church and be before God, as you mentioned, Kim, and make those vows in a serious manner is so important. And it speaks volumes to where you are today and how you get through life, the day in and day out of life.
I think that it's meaningful, you know. to each his own, right? Everyone is whatever works best for you and your family, and you wish everybody the utmost best. I can tell you that for me and my faith, it was very important that we were married in church. We did go very traditional. We actually had our house. I did not move into my house until after we were married. Very old school.
I did the same thing. I agree.
Me too.
And once again, to each his own. Everyone does things differently. For me, that tradition was really special. It allowed something to be special and to look forward to after we got married. And I think it sets a nice example as well of our faith for our kids.
Yeah.
And you recognize that the times change and people view things a little bit differently, but I do think it's a nice opportunity for your children to also see what it's like in that home. And to have two parents under the same roof that like laugh and giggle and spend time together. And this is what a healthy relationship can look like. And it's not to say that it's not, you don't have moments where it's hard, because Lord knows it can be hard. But it's sticking in it and talking it through and figuring out, as people change, because you change as you're together, it's talking through those changes and wanting to make it work. And I think that's something that Nick and I have done really well. So last year, on a personal note, we were really challenged, and I feel like my faith truly helped me. So as we opened up our shop and saw very great success, which we were very appreciative for, it kind of puts you on that that wheel where you're just spinning and you're going. And sometimes God just wants you to stop and you have to reprioritize things. And he did that for us. This time last year, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm okay now. And in that moment, when you actually get the phone call and realize that what you thought your path was has now completely halted.
Yeah.
And now you have to figure out the why, the how, and where do you go?
Yeah.
And for us, the why, I think, was his way of being like, this is great that you've had this success, but I need you to slow down. I need you to make sure that your priorities are all in order. And when we opened this business, this was never about monetary gain. Monetary gain's important, and it pays the bills, but it wasn't about that. This was about trying to really find happiness, right, in the day-to-day, and my husband finding happiness and feeling like what he was doing mattered and brought him great joy. And I think that kind of demonstrated out to others that this isn't a matter of, well, gosh, can I sell 3 larges to that family? That's not it. Let's talk. What is it that you're looking for? What do you prefer to eat? Having those kinds of conversations. So when you get diagnosed and then your world kind of comes to a halt, that's where you really determine your faith, your family. What does that road look like? And there were moments where obviously upset and trying to figure everything out. But my faith got me through everything. And I believe that things happen for a reason. And I'm on the other side of my surgeries and my treatments. And, definitely feel really good. But it's strengthened my marriage. It's strengthened my relationship with my children and with my family. Owning a business while you're going through cancer treatment, not fun.
No. Can't imagine.
Thank goodness for my family. I had cousins come up here all hours after working their day shift to come and help my husband and my son and my daughter. And, everybody, I had friends rally. We had people that came in here, guests of our shop, that we didn't even know their last names, bring us food, supplies, like genuine. And it was so amazing. And I'm truly so grateful for it. And I think that's really part of what kind of continues to strive, that this isn't just a gelato shop. It isn't just about ice cream. We think the gelato is really great. It's a matter of the family and the people. And it's very genuine for us.
You know, that's a through line that we've now done a number of these podcasts with business owners, Catholic business owners and entrepreneurs. And one of the things they've all mentioned to different degrees and from different perspectives is that sense of community building and actually getting to know the people that you're serving and the people who are coming in. And it certainly sounds like you have, in a very short order, have established that here, that this is a place for community and a place to get to know the people who are coming and they get to know you. That's that, you know, in a world
doesn't get any better than that.
It really doesn't. And in a world where things have become very business oriented and very detached,
corporate,
the fact that that's something you wanted to do, that was part of your business plan. I mean, not the business part of it, but the fact that you
motivation.
That you wanted to be together, meet people. That is a very Catholic Christian way of operating. I very much like that.
Thank you. Well, and we really are fortunate too because, you know, our neighbors, our business neighbors have been amazing. So they have welcomed us, all of them, with the warmest of embraces that you feel like you've become part of their family. Whether it's Sewell Dennis next door and Dr. Haddad and his amazing staff. We needed taste testers. They've all come down and taste tested and, you know, given us shout outs on social media to the amazing Duffields across Caddy Corner from us. What an amazing family.
Yes.
Went across the street, introduced ourselves to them. And the first thing Mr. and at that point, Mrs. Duffield was still with us, gave me a hug and said, welcome to the neighborhood.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And it really reminded me of living back in Philly and, you know, feeling that warm embrace where everybody knows their neighbors.
Everybody on the block.
Everybody on the block knows everybody. Yeah. And even the other small local owned businesses that are here located on Green Tree or off Egg Harbor, everybody's super supportive. So if you're looking for a sandwich, you know, the sandwich shop will say, hey, when you get done here, have you gone to Dolce? We'll say, hey, did you have dinner yet? Why don't you go and try, you know, XYZ? So it's something else that I really feel grateful for because you don't really see that. There's a lot of competitiveness sometimes and that cattiness can come out. And thank goodness we don't really experience that.
That's great.
It's just been really nice.
Yeah. All right.
So
okay.
We ready?
So, yes.
The gelato's melting and I'm salivating.
So we've been. I'm still convinced that that our beloved Kari only does this because she wants to get me fatter, but I'm okay.
I just love eating.
I'm okay with that. So your daughter has brought us some fantastic. Has brought us some fantastic stuff.
Do you want to tell them what the flavors are?
Could you tell us?
Welcome,
what
Alyssa. Glad to have you here with us.
Yeah,
that's all right. All right.
Say hello.
Hi. Thank you very much.
My daughter Alyssa. So, Kari, we have put in your cup a little pistachio.
That's my
Our
favorite.
Pistachio is a whole roasted nut that's imported from Sicily, so the highest quality.
Is that the middle or the top?
It is right over there on the side is the pistachio.
Okay.
The top is actually our ricotta, honey, and fig. Amazing. And then your third flavor in the cup is fondente. It's a 70% dark chocolate. Absolutely amazing.
Wow.
The ricotta one, I don't even know if I'm going to get to the next one because this one is already
really hitting. It's a fan favorite. Absolutely.
I love anything with ricotta. I would throw lumps of ricotta on top of my pasta and everything
I've had ricotta and everything. I can't say I've ever had ricotta with ice cream.
No, I can't say either.
So what do we have here?
For yours.
Come on, right here.
Oh, written underneath. That's brilliant.
For yours, we've actually given you a flavor that my husband has competed with. It is Sicilian cannoli, which is ricotta cheese, a little bit of pistachio. The cannoli shell's done in Marsala wine with chocolate chip and a little bit of an orange peel. On top, you have Amarena. So this is the flavor that started the entire gelato shop. This is my husband's favorite flavor. So the base of that is called fior di latte, which in Italian means flower of milk. People think, oh, it's vanilla with cherries. There's no vanilla. He actually processes the milk for 12 hours, and that's what gives it that beautiful creaminess, that flavor that goes along with it. And then your third flavor in your cup is nocciola, traditional hazelnut. The nuts come from Piedmont. And then on your cup, the top, we've actually topped it with an imported heart cookie that's come from Italy.
So when I snuck into this place several weeks back after our first time of having to reschedule, I had one of these little. And what is it called again?
It's a little heart cookie or heart wafer.
Heart wafer. Okay.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
A, adorable.
Yeah.
And 2, I could have just eaten these for the entire time.
Cookies. They're so cute.
Like I said, as I've gotten older, I've found I don't like overly sweet things any longer. Like I actually have a reaction to it.
Yeah.
Not like I don't bring out hives.
Our bodies don't want it.
Right. And so this has just a mild sweet. The cookie has, and you know I'm a baker, so I get into this. The cookie has a mild sweetness to it, but it's really more of a wafer, like you would have like wafer thins, you know, with like a cream between them. So it's more like that, but
So
not
good.
sugary. Now the only thing I need to check is which one of these two is the hazelnut.
The hazelnut is on the bottom.
Okay.
Yep.
So here's what, I don't tell anybody this, but that is my favorite flavor is hazelnut. So the Holy Spirit, was on my side on this one. So
And my favorite actually is pistachio.
Oh, very
So
good.
I have
You
to
guys
ask you a
nailed
question
it.
about that.
Yes.
I've noticed sometimes pistachio comes in that green coloring. Is that food dye for like our own mind's sake?
It is.
Talk to me about
so when you see a bright green in a place, you should run. So
good to
that
know.
bright green is actually food dye and preservatives and nonsense that they put in it. If you look at the pistachio here, it doesn't look like that.
No, and
it's
it's
a very
delicious.
pale light green. And if you think about it, if you take a whole roasted pistachio and you open it up, that nut's not bright green.
No.
So why the heck should you have bright green and eat that?
That makes sense.
Even one of our other flavors that we like to show people to kind of demonstrate that we do not put the preservatives into our product. If you look at the banana before you leave, the banana is not bright yellow here, and instead the banana is actually an off-white. And if you think about it, the off-white is what you eat, and you don't eat the outside of the banana or that bright yellow. So if you
Makes a lot
don't
of
eat
sense.
it,
Yeah.
why would you want to put that in
No,
your body?
It's like a mind game or something.
Exactly.
well, it's funny you should say that because I tell people all the time that if your key lime pie is green, it's wrong because
Exactly.
key limes, it should come out as a yellowish orange.
Yeah.
And when I make key lime pie, I make it with natural colors, not with any additives. However, when I make macarons, I put all the colors in there. So assume nothing else. It's only really my pies. What did you say that the white one was again? The
Amarena.
I've never had that before.
So that is the fior di latte, which is flour of milk, and then the cherries are actually a sour cherry that have been imported from Bologna.
Wow, this is...
And that's my husband's favorite flavor. So he is a creature of habit. And every single time we go to Italy, the man literally only gets Amarena. I'm like, can we try another flavor? And he refuses, and he just gets Amarena. When we were in Rimini in January for the convention, we did go to this little gelateria, and he found a new flavor, still cherry related, and it was called Amarella. So it's a sweet cherry, chocolate, hazelnut with a little wafer. That he did like. And he does on occasion make that now here in the shop. But I tell everybody that comes in to taste, I'm like, this is the flavor that started it all. And then like the Amarella is the flavor that continues. But he right now, I would say probably has north of about 70 different recipes.
Wow.
And he is just... It's
amazing.
My daughter and I tease him that he's like the mad scientist of gelato because you never know what he's thinking, but there's always 10 things going on in his head, and he's always trying to figure out how can he make it better. But he does love enjoying talking and chatting with our guests to see, what flavors do you enjoy? What are you looking forward to? Like Christmas, he makes an unbelievable gingerbread. He'll do candy cane. That's
I won't come
that'll be
back for
good.
that
just
one.
absolutely amazing. He's done Sicilian cassata. So traditional Italian flavors that, may not be traditional here. People come in and are like, oh my gosh, this is
So good.
I didn't even realize I wanted this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just fun. It's nice to
I
be
gotta
able
say,
to keep growing.
The hazelnut is perfect. You get what I like about all of these is I'm tasting the flavors and not necessarily the sweetness, which is one of my, keys to good.
Yeah.
Does it taste like it ought to taste? That cannoli, it's like a cannoli without the wrap. That is outstanding. There's like a cannoli dip, but once again, not like the sugary kind you get at a shop, right?
Yeah.
It's really good. That hazelnut, just a mild hazelnut flavor. It doesn't punch you in the face. It just sits on your tongue. And what's it again? Hold on.
Hazelnut?
Amarena?
Amarena.
That Amarena, I can't describe it. It's I mean, beyond what you've already said about it. Come in and try it. Now, I've always been, stracciatella? Is that?
Stracciatella is one of
That's my go-tos
my
usually.
go-to as well.
Yes.
Chocolate chip, basically.
Pistachio and stracciatella. And how do you say the peanut one? Peanut in Italian. I forget how to say peanut in Italian. Peanut butter.
So we actually
Have you done that one yet?
So peanut butter is actually not really a traditional Italian flavor.
They appeal to the Americans over there.
Peanut
now.
butter is more of an American flavor.
Interesting.
So due to we also try to accommodate people that may have food sensitivities, allergies. So we actually make sure that everything is color coded. So if someone had a food sensitivity or an allergy, we'll always answer the question, but people can feel comfortable feeling like you could come here and have options. So if you were gluten-free.
As you know, I am, yeah.
We have gluten-free options. If you were vegan, we have vegan options as well. But yeah, so peanut butter, fun fact, is actually not a traditional flavor.
The word was arachide. I'm trying to say that right. But that was the other one I've had before. I'm curious, just going back to your husband, Nick.
Yeah.
What was his career before this? Was it in food, or is this like a newfound love?
This was a newfound love. So my husband actually owned his own business. He owned a business that he owned it, and he sold robotics welding equipment.
Oh
my.
Very different.
Very different. He kind of fell into that business. He was very successful. He's very entrepreneur. He's a very hard worker.
Yes.
I've never seen somebody work as hard as he works. And the business was quite successful. Even during COVID, when a lot of businesses kind of, took a hit, he was still striving and still was really growing. But he wasn't truly happy. So he did what most people do when you're, a family person, right? You get up and you go to work and you support your family and you do what you have to do. But you can see that he really wasn't happy. So he took a step back, kind of worked through what he thought could make him happy. And this was something that we felt was a niche. We felt nobody else was doing it. We both had a love for it. He's so smart and so driven that we're like, okay, this is a crazy concept. When we told our family what we were doing, they were like, why?
No, sure.
But there's something to be said, right, about supporting your spouse and watching them try to be happy versus just living whatever life you have day to day and not have that necessarily level of happiness. Yeah. So I was really grateful to support him and to actually see him thrive and truly be happy. And it, like I said, for us, it's changed everything.
Yeah. Wow.
So even for myself, I had, as I affectionately refer to it, as a day job. My degree was in finance, and I was in charge of managing a $250 million book of business for the insurance world. Yeah. I did that for 29 years. Yeah. And August 1st, I decided that I just want to support my husband and my own business. And I'm now doing this full time.
Amazing.
And, big leap of faith.
Sure.
But I feel like with everything I've been through in the past 2 years,
it led you to
God
this
has
point.
guided me to this.
Yeah.
And I feel it's always scary. There's always scary pieces to it. But I feel like this is really the right time. And then to be able to participate and work with my kids is a blessing all on its own because it goes so fast. And any little time that I can continue to spend with them, I truly love it.
Well, Kim,
Amazing.
I got to say, this has been a blessed experience from an eating perspective. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
But certainly it sounds like it's been a blessed one from both a business and a family perspective. And that is wonderful to hear. Yeah. If people want to learn more, do you have a website? Do you have social media?
Absolutely, yeah. So our website is dolcevitaSewell.com. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. We are just starting to be on TikTok.
Okay.
And we are located at 477 Green Tree Road in Sewell.
Well, this has been outstanding. The first of the customers are coming in for the day, so this is the perfect time to wrap up. Kari, thank you very much for accommodating my schedule. And Kim, thank you for accommodating my schedule.
Thank you, guys.
I feel terrible that I've had to reschedule twice, but I'm so happy that we were able to make it today. This is a great experience, and I encourage everyone to come and meet this family. What a wonderful family they are.
Yes.
Eat the gelato as well, but come and meet the family.
Yes.
All right.
Come on out. And this was wonderful. Thank you, Kim, and to your husband,
both.
Nick, your daughter, Alyssa, and your son. We appreciate this time and this delicious gelato.
Well, thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll be back again next week. See you, everybody.
God bless.